Hello, boys and girls. Happy new month. Happy February. I so enjoy this month because it is the second month of the year and we celebrate love on February 14th, Valentine's Day. And February is also known as the month that we celebrate African American or Black history. However, I don't think a person's history should be restricted to just one month. So over here on Relax and Read, we celebrate our history by reading books about real life characters like Mae Jemison and fictional characters that look like us. So here we go. You should meet Mae Jemison. And here's her outfit. What do you think she is? She is known as the first African American female astronaut, but she's so much more. So let's dig in. See. You should meet Mae Jemison. Here we go. Chapter 1, Early Dreams. Have you ever looked up at the stars and wanted to fly? Have you ever dreamed of being an astronaut and blasting off into space? Or of being a dancer? Or being a doctor who brings medical care to people around the world? If you've ever dreamed of any of those things, then you should meet Mae Jemison. Mae is the first African American woman to become an astronaut, but she's much more than that. Mae is also a scientist and a dancer. And she's a doctor and an author and a teacher. That's how many things? Astronaut, scientist, dancer, doctor, author, and teacher. That's 6 very important roles. Mae is just making sure she uses all her talents. Today she's working to find ways for humans to travel beyond our solar system. Mae followed her dreams, all of them. Once you meet her, you'll know you can follow yours too. There she is speaking to some students. Chapter 1, Early Dreams. Mae was born in Decatur, Alabama on October 17, 1956. She has 2 older siblings, a sister and a brother. Her father was a carpenter and her mother taught elementary school. When Mae was 3 years old, her family moved from Alabama to Chicago, Illinois. She thinks of Chicago as her hometown. Understandably so, she was so young. Mae always loved science. When her kindergarten teacher asked her what she wanted to be when she grew up, Mae said, "A scientist." Many people at the time didn't think it was possible for an African American girl to become a scientist. Women were more likely to become teachers and nurses than scientists. "Don't you mean a nurse?" the teacher asked. "No, I mean a scientist," Mae answered. "Good for you, Mae." Other teachers tried to discourage Mae too. She wouldn't let them. She never stopped believing in herself. Oh, that's my favorite thing, boys and girls. Believing in yourself makes a difference. She stood strong in the face of other people's questions. At home, Mae was encouraged to be anything she wanted to be. "My parents were the best scientists I knew because they were always asking questions," she said when she was growing up. Mae considered herself a busybody and liked to get involved with her sisters and brothers' science projects. Once she got a splinter in her thumb. Soon there was pus. Other kids might have been grossed out and just wanted to go away, but not Mae. Mae wanted to know exactly what the pus was and where it came from. So she did a scientific study of pus to learn more about how it fights infection to help our bodies heal. Mae's family talked about many things around the dinner table, including the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement was a mass popular movement to secure equal access and opportunities for the basic privileges and rights of U.S. citizens for African Americans. There were sometimes riots, and one time, National Guard soldiers came to Chicago to keep the peace. Mae was scared, but she promised herself that she wouldn't let fear keep her from doing what she wanted in the world. The library was a place where Mae learned about science. She read all kinds of science books, especially ones about the stars. Mae also followed the National Aeronautics and Space Administrators NASA space programs in the newspapers. She knew all about the astronauts and their missions. Growing up, I always assumed I would go into space, Mae said when she was older. I remember being really irritated that there were no woman astronauts. Mae was inspired by the character Uhura, a female officer on the television show Star Trek. She looks like Mae. Uhura was played by the actress Nichelle Nichols. Eventually, Mae got to meet Nichelle. Mae believes that the best scientists are not only logical but creative too. She took all kinds of dance lessons growing up: ballet, jazz, modern, African, and even Japanese dancing, honey. She wanted to be a professional dancer. She also designed and made clothes for her dolls, acted in school plays, and took art classes. But science was always Mae's first love. She graduated high school at 16 and won a scholarship to Stanford University to study engineering. Wow-wee! Very impressive, Mae Jemison. Chapter 2, Dreams on Earth. At Stanford University in California, Mae majored in chemical engineering. Biochemical engineering was her focus. A biochemical engineering creates things to make medical care better. Mae also majored in African and Afro-American history. And just like she had when she was younger, Mae combined art and creativity with science. Sky's the limit. You don't have to limit yourself. Mae created dance routines, acted in plays, and was president of the Black Student Union. She also learned to speak Swahili, an African language. If you've seen The Lion King, you will hear that language in that movie. There's Mae doing all of these wonderful things. In college, Mae decided that she wanted to be a medical doctor. When she graduated from Stanford, she moved to New York City to go to Cornell University Medical College. Mae studied hard, but she also made time for fun. She took dance lessons and she went to the theater with friends. During her summer breaks, Mae traveled to Kenya and Cuba to learn about medical care in other countries, especially for poor people. She also worked in Thailand at a camp for refugees, people who had been driven away from their homes by war, and that is what a refugee is. At first, Mae didn't want to be the kind of doctor who sees patients. She wanted to be the kind of doctor who does research. But working in other countries made her interested in bringing medicine to people in poor areas around the world. After she became a doctor, Mae volunteered for the Peace Corps. The Peace Corps is made up of Americans who bring things such as medical care, clean water, and education to people in underdeveloped countries. As a doctor for the Peace Corps, Mae went to Sierra Leone and Liberia, 2 countries in West Africa. After 2.5 years in Africa, Mae returned to California as a doctor. It was then that she remembered an early dream, a dream to fly into space. She learned that NASA was accepting applications for the astronaut program, so Mae, believing in herself as usual, applied. People who want to be astronauts must have college degrees in science, math, or engineering. They also need to have work experience in their fields and show NASA that they can be leaders. Mae's application stood out. NASA asked her to travel to the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas for interviews and physical tests. Mae must have shown them how smart and strong she was because in June 1987, NASA asked her to be an astronaut candidate. Congratulations, Mae. She was one of 15 chosen out of a group of 2,000 people. Holy moly! Mae's early dream was coming true. She was on her way to becoming an astronaut. Look at Mae. I am so proud. Thank you so much for tuning in, boys and girls. I will do chapters 3, 4, and 5 on the next video, so I will see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.